Hey everybody, what's going on? All right, today we were working on the Big Sister, Project Big Sister. So, aside from Project Vanilla Ice over there, I was having trouble with Big Sister because apparently in 65, the motor mounts are specific to each side. So if you get them mixed up, the motor won't sit right because they use a stud and a little box hole. And so the stud was off about this much. So I had to switch them around, and I managed to get that done today. You know, I missed the looming weather coming. So I got that done. I did notice that, now you all should remember that whenever you pick up a project, somebody's always loosened something and forgot to tighten it back up. So I was under there wondering why the cross member bolts, the cross member, the transmission cross member bolts were loose, which was very strange, considering that I drove this car from Knoxville to my house when I bought it. Granted, I've noticed a lot of things about it since it's been sitting here, and I've found things that were wrong that somebody had did who was a non-car guy. So, I got the motor mount switched around. Not that this was anything you people would care to know, but if you're working on an older project, which, you know, a lot of you probably aren't, not this old, this car's older than me, I got everything swapped around. Now, this motor is not the motor that came out of this car. This motor is actually a 1969 model, 302. It came out of a truck, I would think, because it's a Mexican block. Now, granted, there's all this mystery around the Mexican blocks, the high nickel content, that sort of thing, that they're not able to be cracked. That's an racing application. This is a street application. There will be none of that here, so this ain't about horsepower. This is about just having a decent engine in this car that's gonna run, it's gonna last a long time. So we're going for longevity, not horsepower numbers. We basically just wanna drive it. So 69 block went in, the aforementioned, I think it was a 302. It had 302 heads on it. So I'm thinking it was a 302. Now the badges on the fender said 289, but you never know. You just never know. So we know now it is actually a 302, or it's more like a 306. This one's 30 over. It's got flat tops in it. It's got late model heads on it. It's a mix match of certain things, but it'll run just fine for what I'm gonna do with it, which is just drive it around. But back to the update. We got the motor mounts corrected. We tightened up the cross member. I had to put a couple of washers on the back of these two bolts back here on my bell housing. But other than that, it's in, it's solid. The next thing that will have to happen is we're gonna go put the headers on. Now, I don't really remember how I put them on the first time, and I took them off, but I know it took me a week to get this side on and another week to get that side on because the frustration level was very high. Especially with ARP bolts with they're 5-pointed, and I was having trouble finding a decent sized wrench that would fit them. And then the whole finagling of the motor. Now granted, these are long tubes. I got these from Nathan Killian. He knows who he is. That's a plug to Rehab Motorsports. I got those from him, and they're 465. So they fit. They fit that motor. They'll fit this one. I already test fitted them. So that'll be the next thing to go in this. Now, I get a decent day for weather. No storms. No, none of that garbage. Nothing looming. No tornadoes. Then I'll go in here and I'll pull the motor out, and I'll actually put the motor in vanilla over there, and once I get the motor in vanilla, then we'll start buttoning it up, put the radiator in and everything, and we'll go from there. But we don't want, we're trying to miss any increment weather because I don't want to get any water in the motor. I got too much in it. Now granted, this one's been in the car. I put it in, I don't know, a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. And I've been just tinkering with it here and there. It's pretty much sealed up. There's no holes of anything that I haven't plugged that can be unplugged if I'm going to put a hose or stick something on there that belongs. As far as that goes, I already got the radiator. I need an electric fan. You know, this isn't going to be a vintage product. I don't care nothing about that fan. I like an electric fan. I like to have a nice, decent cooling motor. I don't want it running hot. You know, I try to get past some of the problems that hot rodders had back in the past with cars running hot. And my dad had that same problem with his car in there. It would run hot with that flex fan, and I'm not dealing with that. I'll put dual fans on it if I got to, but we're making progress here. So we got progress going on there. Motor's complete for vanilla. It's over there on the stand. Big sister's already got her motor. It's already been completed. It's already in the car. So we're basically just buttoning up, locking the drivetrain to the chassis. So we got the motor mounts tightened up. We got that done. All the bolts on the transmission are tight, except for the one I just took off, and I gotta put a couple washers on it. Gotta find a dipstick, because the dipstick that I had, it was broken. The top of it was broken. And this is not an easy thing because everybody wants to go to the aftermarket crap, and I just wanted a vintage one. So I'll be looking around. Maybe Rehab might have one, so I'll check those fellas. Basically, that's it. Just wanted to hit you with a little video on what I actually did today, because I did tell you in the last video that I would post a video of me actually out here getting some work done, and I did get some done today. So I'll catch y'all on the next video with maybe a different update. Maybe we'll talk about another topic. I'll try to stagger my topics and work so it doesn't get too monotonous. We'll just do that, and we'll get this thing back on the ground. Anyway, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Keep between the ditches. I'll holler at y'all later.